Yo, what's going on, guys? J Rides Moto here. Welcome back, guys. It's been 3 weeks since I've uploaded. I have completely redone my computer setup, as you can see in this photo, and it took a lot of time rewiring these cables. It really pissed me off trying to figure out what RGB I guess program to download. It was really annoying getting it done, but I finally got it done, and I can start making commentary videos because it is that time of the year again. But this is a video that I've been waiting to make. I kind of wanted it to be like, why you shouldn't buy the CBR1000 without a lot of experience, but it'll be that in a mix of a retrospective, as you can see from the title anyways. But yeah, I'll just jump right into it, guys. So if you don't know me, J Rides Moto, if this is my first video you're watching, and actually looking back at this, like putting it on paper, it was kind of dumb what I did. So I started out in August 2024 with a 2021 Kawasaki Ninja 400. I owned that for only 3 months, guys. 3 months was my starter riding, right, with a Ninja 400. Then I jumped to a Gixxer 600 from February 2025 to April of 2025, which is another 3 months. So I spent 3 months on my 400, 3 months on a 600. Then I eventually got a 1000 the same year, picking up in May of 2025 to September of 2025, which was 5 months, the longest I've ever owned a bike. Now, this was kind of dumb. I probably should have stayed with my 600, but if you guys had seen, there's just a whole video. I bought a completely up 600 and I had to sell it because it was digging money in my pocket. And just, yeah, I should have kept the 400, but a whole situation with that, we can talk about that in a later video. Isn't it crazy to think that nowadays you can have $6,000 or $7,000 on Facebook Marketplace and get you a mid 2000s leader bike that's capable of 186 miles an hour? I feel like you should wait to get a leader bike, but it's easier said than done because I'm very hypocritical on that. But I look back on my time with it. I don't regret any of it. I loved flying down the highway at 167 miles an hour with next to my buddy. But yeah, I have a lot of thoughts I want to get out today, guys, about this whole Honda thing. I think with the CBR1000RR, it's a very unique leader bike because I had seen on TikTok, this is way before I think I started riding, when I was sitting in my dorm in Korea. People just talked about how slow the Honda was, and I didn't understand because I hadn't ridden of any of the leader bikes or 600s, which is actually funny to think about because I have ridden a ZX6R, I've ridden an R6, the one I blew up, I've ridden my buddy's CBR 600, and then I've ridden the Gixxer 600. So I've ridden all 4 of them. So I actually have a good experience on the 600s. I'm a little experienced on that, so I'm not really talking out of my ass here, guys. The smoothness of a Honda, that's what makes it. When people say Hondas are slow, it's true because they're smooth, right? So older leader bikes such as the 05, 06 Gixxer 1000, which the K5, everyone knows that is the king of sport bikes. Well, I mean, back in 05, it was the one that Gixxer Bra used to go from Colorado Springs to Denver in 20 minutes, or the 04, 06 Yamaha R1. I don't know if they call that one the Widowmaker or not, but that was one of the best years for the R1. Yeah, I get it, it had starting problems, but raw power, guys, okay? Just work with me here. It had effortless throttle response and all that. Now, I'm specifically talking about the 2012 to 2016, but I mean, you could probably look at the older models because they probably respond the same. I mean, it's from Honda family, right? But the CBR 1000, right? Now, it's so weird, it's so unique because until I rode it, I understood because I've spent 4,000, 5,000 miles on the bike. The CBR just has a smooth power delivery, but it's violent at the same time. It is so weird to even say that, but when you ride it, you're oh, it's smooth, but it's violent, and it's weird because older leader bikes are not like that. When I rode my buddy's, this video actually did kind of well because it was it went out during the Grom trails when I first started Grom trails, and I got a chance to ride his bike, my buddy's 2014 GSXR 1000. It felt like I got smacked in the face by Conor McGregor, or I don't know, some professional boxer, because not only did this bike pull past 160 miles an hour effortlessly, if the ECU didn't cut the power at 186 miles an hour on the highway, I strongly believe I could have hit 190 miles an hour that day. Now keep that in mind, what I said when it went past 160 effortlessly. So because I think it's either just the steering dampener working with it, the fact that the front end is so heavy, and the power delivery is so smooth. The CBR1000 just feels so easy to ride at like legal speeds. You just barely need to give it any throttle, and riders, especially with me, you feel like you're on top of it, like you just like mastered the bike, you know, just because it's so smooth, even if your actual skill hasn't fully matched the machine's potential. And I know this because when I was on my friend's Gixxer, it just felt like I was piloting an uncontrollable beast, like How to Train Your Dragon when he gets on the dragon for the first time, right? And I know this because my friend on his 2011 plus, whatever that is, I think it was 2015 GSXR 600, he smoked me on the highway. Even on his dad's ZX6R, he was smoking me, and it's because he has a better grasp of his power, you know, of his power band than I do. You know, you don't want to end up like me where people make fun of you, right, for buying a leader bike and not being able to control it like an expert. Because let's be honest, like 1000 cc's are for expert riders. Like you should wait years before getting on one. I get it, I'm a hypocrite, whatever. But you know, even SRK Cycles, if you guys know his channel, my dad actually sent me his video, the one I'm about to, you know, put in this video, the clip, before I bought a CBR 1000, right? And just take a listen to what he has to say.
Effect, it feels great going straight, but then as soon as you just push a little bit of pressure on your handlebars, it just whoop whoop, it makes you feel like you're a better rider. It makes you feel like you can handle corner better than what you actually can. And in a way, it kind of does make you a little better rider. But the scary thing is, it might make you think you're an even better rider than what you are, and that's when you die.
So yeah, he said it makes you a better rider than you are, and I'm telling you, it's that Honda smoothness. It just tricks you because the power delivery is so predictable. Like, you know exactly what it's gonna do. And I think that after riding it, I can't remember, I think I got it at 9,000 and I got rid of it at around 13,000. So that's about 4,000 miles maybe and some change. So I did about 4,000 miles on that bike, and I can comfortably say that the power band wall hits at 160. And what I mean by like the end of the power band, you know, where it slowly climbs, kind of like the bike stops skipping numbers and it climbs slowly digit by digit. So like when you get to 162, 163, 164, not whereas you're in second gear, you're going from like 92 to like, you know, 96, and it skips the whole digits of numbers because it's just reading so high, you know, because you're going that fast. And that lack of violence at the top end kind of underplays the importance of being locked in at that speed, because like I said, it's just so predictable, right? Not that, you know, ever when I was cruising down the highway at 160 miles an hour, I wasn't like locked in. I was, but it's just like I didn't take it as seriously as when I was on my friend's Gixxer. And I mean, maybe that's because obviously the stakes were incredibly high. Like, I don't want to crash his bike. Like, I love him to death. I don't want to deal with an insurance claim or possibly get hurt. Like, there's so many reasons you should not crash your friend's bike, obviously, you know, it goes without saying. But I don't know, even if I owned his bike, I would have still been way more locked in, because the Gixxers and the other leader bikes are just way stronger. And you know, the way it climbs past 160, because that's just where the power band wall ends on the CBR 1000, at least the 2012 to the 2016 models. It's absolutely noticeable just how it rocks past 160, and the CBR just kind of ends there. It almost feels like a 600, just with torque in every gear, but it still feels like a 600, because I remember my Gixxer 600 at the time when I would max it out on the highway and straightaways, the power band would end around like 150, which, I mean, yeah, it's like 10 off of 160, but it's still right there, you know. It's not like whereas a 400 is screaming at like 110 miles an hour, whereas a CBR is way higher. Obviously, we're not talking about, you know, that kind of comparison. We're talking about 4 cylinders, right? You know, even during that ride on his Gixxer 1000, I remember I was going into a corner in the express lane, and I was still in like the Honda mindset, because obviously I had just been like, I rode the Honda for 4,000 miles. I've never ridden a Gixxer 1000 besides when he let me take it to Ocean City, but I was like so careful. I was so careful, except when I did 180, whatever. We'll talk about that later. But I was in the Honda mindset where you can just twist the throttle more, and like you can feather it, but you can feather it way more than you can on other leader bikes, because it's just so damn predictable, so smooth. You know, in that corner, I had to feather the throttle because the bike is so, like, the Gixxer was so eager to rock forward. I really had to feather that throttle. And you know, that goes for all leader bikes. Whenever you're on a 1000, you should absolutely treat that throttle with more respect and way more danger than than like a super sport versus a super bike, or opposite, but you know what I mean. I just think the inputs are so goddamn sensitive. I mean, side note, this is why the Gixxer 750 and the Gixxer 600 exists. You know, if a 600 and a 1000 had a baby, it'd be the 750, but you guys have seen my video of me riding the 750. I absolutely loved it, right? I think that with a 1000, this is gonna sound really stupid and not make any sense, but I've ridden a 600, a 750, and a 1000, so I feel like I have the validity to talk about this. I don't think you need a 1000 to keep up with other 1000s, and that sounds really stupid. I know that sounds really, really, really stupid, but just hear me out, guys. So skill matters more than displacement. Like I'm telling you guys, the grasp of power, how well, like imagine a man with his arm out and he has like a tree branch, right? And he's grasping it. And a guy next to him is grasping a tree branch and his is just falling off. It's sagging. The one who grasps his tree branch, right, better, that's like your power. Imagine you're grasping something. It doesn't even need to be a tree branch. It could be anything. Your grasp of power. Imagine that power in your hand. The better you grasp it is you're going to be a better rider if you can grasp your power better. I did not grasp the power of the CBR that well because it makes you think you're a better rider up until you're in the corners or you're cutting up on the highway, and every little throttle input threatens to like rocket you forward more than you anticipated. And that's what makes 1000 so scary, is you need to be so skilled and so confident on it, right? A well-ridden 600 or 750 rider will absolutely run with leader bikes in real world riding. I had a friend on a Gixxer 600. I keep glazing him. He's probably going to watch this video and know I'm talking about him. We did I think it was like a 20-mile run down the highway, and he was keeping up with 1000s. I was in the back on my 600. I was like, I mean, obviously you guys know I only spent 3 months on it, so I wasn't even the best rider. Hell, I need to go back on a 600 or something like that, or a 750. And I just, like, he was outrunning me. He was right up on the leader bike's ass. Even if he was pinned, like, he was right up there, which is pretty crazy, man. Even, like, you think about the speed of a 1000, right? One time I was just sitting there on my bed, like, watching a Jixabra video on TV, right? And on YouTube, and he said that, he said something really interesting. He said you can only do 180 miles an hour for so long. And that is true. I remember, like, it was in one of his videos, because maybe it's the fact that I live in Maryland, and on the East Coast there's just like more infrastructure, more population, more beaches, more traffic, more density. It's just less space to open up your motorcycle. And compare that to like Dallas, Fort Worth, or Arizona. Like, you guys see the highways in like Arizona riding on like Will Kid Hill's channel or whatever, like, or even Texas, right? You watch a bunch of Jixabra or like Fast Flow KC or all their videos. You can hold 180 miles an hour for way longer than you can if you lived in like Maryland or like Virginia or something, right? Now, I don't think getting a 1000 is worth it. Yeah, I know, hypocrite. Get it if you want. Get it if you want. I'm a total hypocrite. Just, you don't have to listen to me. Just like some advice, right? Food for thought. I feel like I'd only get another one if I had the garage space one day, or if I found an 05 Gixxer 1000. Okay, I'll say I would get that, but that's pretty rare because you don't find those in good condition. But okay, back to the point. I think I'd only get another one if I had garage space and I finally became a homeowner, and I just have one, just to have one, right? Like, what the hell, just have it, man, right? Just for bragging rights. I actually wouldn't even be worth it, but whatever. Now, I've said this already, like, I've been taken to Gapplebee's by 750s and 600s, because just what non-leader super sports offer is controlled power, whereas 1000s offer boatloads of power that can only be effectively controlled by a seasoned rider, right? Because on a 1000, your throttle precision is crucial. Tiny inputs equal big changes, you know, in corners. Like that cornering mistake on a 600, that could kill you on a 1000. And I know this because I've slipped out in a corner on a 600. Thank God I didn't fully slip out, or just half slipped it out. But if I was on a 1000, I probably would have eaten because 1000's just like, you ask for torque and it's gonna throw torque at you, you know, even in 6th gear. And you guys know, cornering exit requires like restraint. Too much can unsettle the bike and slip the rear tire, just like we talked about. Since you arrive faster everywhere on a 1000, your brake zones have like way less margin for error. So that means your mental load will always be higher. Knowing every input will have an effect on the ride, right? As I've said, guys, like, I'm a hypocrite, but I don't regret buying my 1000. And I think that if I were to have like a message for this video, it'd be like, work up to it with time. Like, yes, buy the 1000, just wait. Spend a couple years on that 600 or 750. Like, do at least maybe like 40,000 or 50,000 miles. Yes, I know, hypocrite, but I'm that's literally what I'm getting. I'm really doing my best to avoid getting a 1000 because it's just not helpful, right? And I guess the only ground I have to stand on is, I sold mine. Yeah, I miss it a lot, guys. Just because it was pretty, I guess because of the power, but it was a really pretty bike, guys. You gotta admit that. But you guys gotta understand, if I can get smoked by a 600cc rider, then like I've clearly skipped a few chapters in the skill set. I loved what 1000cc can do. It could pull past 150 miles an hour with ease, which unlike a 600, it's just a 600 can't really do that, So even buying a 1000, even it be the slowest 1000 in a lineup of the big four, Japanese of course, it showed me the huge responsibility it is to operate a bike that's as fast as a Ferrari or a Lamborghini. I mean, yeah, buy that 1000, but wait. Not for me, but for your own development. Like, coming from a guy who's done the traditional climb, 400, 600, 1000, get that 600 and ride the hell out of it. And it was all my fault because I spent like a total of 6 months between a 400 and a 600, which wasn't enough. And maybe it's like, I'm not gonna like not take accountability and be like, yeah, like it was Instagram that influenced me. It's just like I just decided to. I don't know why. Like, my dad showed me this one in Pennsylvania. I'm like, all right, let's go get it, dude. Let's go get it. I'm one of those guys where I'm trying to be adventurous in life and just be like, yep, like screw it, I'll do it, So early into my season, I remember I rode down to like Glen Burnie to go have dinner with these other bikers, and I met this girl. She had I don't know if the Ninja 500 was out yet. She either had like a 400 or a 500. This was in 2024. I was talking to her for a while, right? Because like I met another person with a Ninja 400, 500. I was like, yeah, like we're from the same family, of bikes. And I found out that after the MSF course, she started out on a CBR1000 right after she graduated the course. And I was in shock because I'm like, why would you go to a 1000? And once you go to a 1000, why did you go back to your Ninja? Like, a CBR1000 is so much more powerful. She said she wanted to learn, like she just didn't like the power. And I thought she was crazy. And now looking at myself, I'm standing in her shoes. I mean, not really, I'm going back to a 600, 750, but obviously, I'm not going back to a Ninja. Don't have the space for it. It is what it is, right? Also, side note, did you know she actually got that bike for free? Because I think she told me the friend got like the friend who gave her the Ninja for free was like blind in one eye. So I mean, I hope they got better. That was kind of unfortunate, but hey, she got a free Ninja. Okay, but listen, leader bikes, like especially the CBR1000, they make going fast feel easy. And that's not like a knock necessarily. That's a testament to literally how advanced these engineers have gotten. And it's insane that they can make a bike smooth and violent at the same time. It's insane, dude. It all works together to smooth things out and make the speed feel manageable. And maybe the newer bikes are smooth too. That's what I read on, like, when I was researching, the years of bikes. They seem to be getting more smoother, right? Now, we all know this comes with the downside, it just makes the machine incredibly good at masking mistakes. And also, if you're a slow rider like me sometimes, in certain situations, you will catch up in the straightaways. So a leader bike will literally cover all your mistakes, your cornering mistakes. So you can just catch up to them by twisting that throttle and absolutely hauling ass on the missile that you're on. Now, smaller bikes like a 600 or 750, they force you to be honest with your riding skill, right? Every missed like shift or gear when you're trying to be in the power band or sloppy throttle input, that will show up immediately because you're gonna get gapped, especially on like 600s, which are so needy. They're like needy girlfriends. They're so demanding. Like, 600s are the most demanding bikes that you can ride. It's just, yeah, dude, that's why I'm kind of leaning towards a 750, right? But okay, back to what we were saying. A leader bike should feel like a tool that you're in control of, not something you're trying to like manage or survive. Because the thing is like 600 is like wring your neck. You got to wring its neck out. Whereas a 1000 is like like roll on and hold on because you are about to go for a ride, brother. So, oh Lord, dude, I'm definitely gonna miss that 1000, but I look back on it and I'm glad with what it taught me. It taught me, you know, discipline. Like, it also taught me that when you're on the road, dude, it really gets to your head because you feel like you know you're the fastest thing on the road, at least if you're riding solo and you're not with other leader bikes, and you're just like, damn, like I can pass everyone with ease. You feel like a king, but it really did get to my head. So I'm glad I'm getting humbled, and you know I can go back to something that I can actually learn on, right? Because just remember, guys, at the end of the day, if you can't wring the neck out of a 600 or 750 and absolutely max out what it can do for you, a 1000 isn't gonna save you. Okay, but yeah, guys, if you enjoyed this video and just my honest thoughts, you know, I definitely wrote out some notes, so if it felt like I was reading off, I kind of was for a little bit. But yeah, just thank you guys so much for watching, and hopefully we'll have more commentary videos. Like I said, I got my new PC, so I can do a bunch of more videos. And yeah, guys, just leave a like if you want, subscribe, whatever, and I will talk to you guys in the next video. Till then, keep on riding.